on, everybody? My name is Rashid Coleman, and I'm going to be hosting a series for you today called goneMAAD, which is going to be centered around mental health, anxiety, and depression. It is an issue that affects over 40 million Americans 18 years of age or older, as well as 350 million people worldwide. I know when I was a child, this was an issue that never came up. I didn't even know about anxiety or depression until I experienced it myself. So I'm hoping to utilize this space as an opportunity to share my story and invite as many other people as I can to share their story as well. Stay tuned, and I hope this will inspire you to share your story as well. What's going on, everybody? This is She. We're here for the second episode of goneMAAD. I'm really excited to have this episode filmed today because I have the person who I spoke about in episode 1, my grandmother, here to talk about some of the strategies she used with anxiety and depression. She's helped me move throughout my journey, as you can see here, so much. And I'm really just honored to have you here today. I appreciate you, giving your time. And I guess you can give a little background about who you are, and we can go from there.
Well, I am Rashid's grandmother, and it is my joy and pleasure. This is my heart here. And as he began to share with me about some of the things that he was going through, it gave me an opportunity to open up to him and let him know that he wasn't alone, that he wasn't experiencing what he was experiencing all alone, that I had been through some of the same things. And the stigma on being depressed or having anxiety attacks is something that is worldwide, and more people are experiencing it than are talking about it. So I'm just so grateful and so happy that you could share with the world what you've been going through and know that it's okay.
Absolutely. All right, so that being said, I guess we're just going to jump right in. So this series is centered around mental health, anxiety, and depression. We kind of talked about that you experienced it. So how long did you deal with, anxiety and depression in your own life?
It started 16 years ago, actually, as I started going through what's considered perimenopause. And there was an imbalance going on, and I did not realize what was going on, why I was feeling the way I was feeling. I couldn't sleep, I didn't have an appetite, I didn't feel suicidal or anything like that. It's just that I just was not myself, and things just that didn't bother me started to bother me. I would dream a lot and wake up as though I were underwater, and like I couldn't respond, and it was a horrible feeling. And when they told me that I was depressed, chemically depressed, I was like, I'm not depressed, there's nothing going on, I'm fine. But then as time went on, I went to my OBGYN, and then she really related to what I was going through. A lot of times people say, oh, well, just pray, oh, this too will pass, oh, you're all right, you just need to get more sleep, whatever. And that is not the case. It is such thing as a chemical imbalance. There is truth in anxiety and depression.
Yeah, I mean, I know in my own life, not being able to sleep, not really having an appetite, I felt, as I said in the first episode, I felt kind of just out of sorts as I relate to you. And when you don't have anyone to talk about this with, it really does feel like you're kind of out there alone by yourself. We got a lot of feedback from the first episode that everyone was excited because we were actually talking about a topic that was considered taboo. Why do you think it has that taboo stigma?
I think it has a taboo stigma because everybody can relate to a headache. Everybody can relate to back pain or, stomach ache or whatever. But when you start talking about the mind and the mental aspect, the next stigma is crazy. And no one wants to be, categorized as being crazy. Or out of control. In this life, we kind of think that everything is in control, that we have control over everything, and there's just some things we have no control over. And where our mind wanders off to, our emotions, we don't have control over that. However, there are things and there are ways, there are solutions to these problems, but no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to share that I've gone through that. Does that make me crazy? Do I look crazy? I could look crazy for you, but it's not about being crazy. It's just about recognizing and acknowledging what's going on with you and then seeking help.
So what was the first thing you did when you were trying to search out help? So let's say we have a few of the viewers commented back to me that they went out and sought therapy. They actually started using some of those strategies. But what did you do to search out help? Like, what was your first course of action?
Sleep deprivation will cause you to think that you are really losing it, and you really are. I mean, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, for real, because you need sleep. The body needs sleep. And what was happening for me is my brain was not sending signals that it's time to sleep. So it was just around the clock, just being awake. I would sleep maybe 2 hours and think I had slept for 7 or 8 hours. Sometimes it was 15 minutes. Sometimes it was 20 minutes, and I would wake up and think it had been 6 or 7 hours. And your body has to have rest. So with that, I started going to the doctor, and they were telling me the same thing. It's a chemical imbalance. You're depressed. The word depressed just had me going. So was I sleep deprived? Yes, I was. And I was like, give me some help. I just need something. I took 3 Benadryls, and I was just as awake. So that right there let me know that there was something going on that was not normal for me. And from that point, that's when I went to my OBGYN just for a regular checkup. And then in that, she asked, was I dealing with anything? And I shared with her what I was going through. And she said, you are not alone. And that was the first thing that gave me freedom, knowing I'm not alone in this, that there are other women that are going through this. But no one had ever talked to me really about that. So she prescribed something for me, which I took. And before I did it, I have to say, I asked the Lord to make this work. If this is your healing for me, allow it to work, because nothing is going to work without God's hand on it. That's number one. So I tried the medication, and it worked. It worked. Now, was it the medication alone that worked? No. It was my trust and my belief in God that it would work, and it has.
So outside of the therapy, I think that was a great segue there, that your belief also helped, fuel it working. But what other strategies did you use? I talked about journaling, like working out. Those things really helped me to cope with my anxiety. So what are some of the other strategies that you use? I know you walk sometimes.
Right. To get those endorphin levels up is really important, to exercise, to walk, to read, find that favorite thing that you like to do and do it. You have to come outside of your own comfort zone, because what will happen is you'll just feel like, I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to lay here. Television doesn't, impress you anymore. Books don't impress you. So you have to get up and do something. Set a goal for yourself and do something. What I started doing is I started writing words of songs that I enjoyed. I didn't know all the words, so I would play it and push pause and write the next, few words of the song. I would do anything that kept me challenged, kept my mind challenged.
That's awesome. So, I think those are definitely key pieces and key strategies.
And I prayed a lot.
Okay. I think that's something
I prayed a lot.
I also did as well, because I was just like, if this is going to be how I have to live, I need you to take this from me, because I couldn't operate that way. I couldn't operate in my fullest capacity, when I was feeling that way. So what do you have? We really want to kind of help out everyone with this video, but I've been getting a lot of feedback from like millennials, who are people in my age bracket. What advice would you have for them? Of course, that 30-year-old marker, that as we get older, this man-made concept of time kind of weighs down on us. What advice would you have for those people coming up after you in my generation?
In your generation, I would just say to stop putting expectations on yourself that God has not placed on you. Life is to be lived. It's not to be sketched out, and I have to do this at a certain time and that at a certain time. Just be. We just have to learn how to just be, to enjoy the moments that we live in, and stop putting the world's expectations and their time schedules in our lives. And once we begin to just enjoy every day is a gift, and every day we should be accomplishing something. And as long as we accomplish something in that day, and we're making it so that other people can see our life and see that we're living a good life, Who determines what success is and what success isn't? Who decides what age bracket you should be in it, and you should have accomplished all these things? No one has a right to do that, and because there's so much pressure on being successful, I think it just causes so much stress, and stress will cause your mind to wander. And I would just suggest that you just be happy being you. Just enjoy life.
Okay. Well, I thank you for those words of wisdom, because honestly, there is this concept that success looks one way. That success is the big house, 3-4 cars, being able to go anywhere, anytime you want. But success is truly defined by each person's desires.
Exactly.
What is success for me could be something totally different for you, or totally different for Bill Gates. So I think that was key. That we all kind of key in on what it means to be successful personally, and use our own personal definition to kind of move forward throughout our lives. Do you have any final words, or?
I did, but I forgot what I was gonna say. But I just challenge everyone to be real with yourself. If you're feeling something and you're going through something, find someone to talk to. It's okay to talk about it. It is not that you're crazy. And stop thinking that. If nothing else, seek help. Talk about it. Share with other people, and I truly believe that the Lord has allowed us to go through what we've gone through to be able to be a testimony to someone else and to help someone else along the way, to know that yes, you can live a happy and a healthy and a normal life. Anxiety is no more than any other sickness, any other illness. And is there a cure for it? Yes, there is. And can we find that cure for it? Yes, we can. But it's all in us.
Absolutely.
It's all in us, and it's all in doing something about it. So thank you so much for having me on here. I'm excited about what you're doing. I'm excited about helping people. I'm excited about letting people know that this stigma has to stop, and we have to really embrace what we're feeling, what we're going through, and be okay with it.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. I'm not going to say anything else. I think that was a great ending to this segment, and we look forward to have you all with us for episode 3. Thank you for your time.